everyone. Once again, namaskar and good evening, everyone. Once again, on this wonderful platform of Indian Accounting Association, we all are back today on a weekday, that is Thursday, and today is 6:30, and we are starting. It is 6:37, in fact, and we are starting the lecture today a little bit late due to the personal problems. Friends, wonderful platform of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter. Our chairman, Dr. Arvind Luar sir, General Secretary, Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, Treasurer, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, have provided us with wonderful blessings and this wonderful platform wherein, friends, we can interact, and even when our institutions are not working physically, we are able to conduct the online lectures. Friends, on behalf of our chairman, Dr. Arvind Lower sir, on behalf of our chairman, Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, on behalf of our treasurer, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, myself being the life member of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter, I welcome you all on this wonderful platform where we are going to study about economics from standard 12. And the topics today that we are going to discuss are elasticity of demand and supply analysis. Friends, today being the working day, my professors, Dr. Arvind Loar sir, my professors, Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, my professor, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, are not available due to the week working day, but they have given us the green signal to start with the today's proceeding. Friends, before we start with today's proceeding, I would like to bow, salute, respect, and offer my gratitude and thanks to my teachers. I request Kanish Bhai to please focus on the screen. Friends, here we are going to start with the proceedings. Before we start today's proceeding, today is 3rd of December 2020, Thursday. It is a working day, and we are live on this platform of Indian Accounting Association. Before, as I said, I start with the today's proceeding, I bow, salute, respect, and offer my gratitude and thanks to my respected Professor Dr. Arvind Loar sir, who is the chairman of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter in University of Mumbai. My Dr. Arvind Loar sir is the chairman of Board of Studies for Accountancy and a recognized guide for PhD and MPhil. Thank you, my Professor Dr. Arvind Loar sir. I bow, salute, respect, and offer my gratitude and thanks to my professor, respected Professor Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, who is the General Secretary of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter in University of Mumbai. My professor Dr. Dr. Nishikant Jha sir is the member of Board of Studies for BAF and BFM and a recognized guide for PhD and MPhil. Thank you, my professor Dr. Nishikant Jha sir. I bow, salute, respect, and offer my gratitude and thanks to my respected Professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, who is the Treasurer of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter in University of Mumbai. My Professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir is the member of Board of Studies for BBI and BIM in University of Mumbai and a recognized guide for PhD and MPhil. Thank you to my Professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir. Friends, these my professors, Dr. Arvind Loar sir, Dr. Nishikant Jha sir, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, they are such a esteemed and a renowned teacher in Mumbai University. They are head of department in various colleges in their respective departments. They are expert researchers and they have published number of papers, research papers, and so many students who are doing MPhil and PhD have done under their guidance. They are excellent authors. They have penned themselves numerous books ranging from 100 to 200 books which are available in the open market. Friends, at the same time, they are excellent motivators. They always motivate students that they have to work hard, they have to keep on excelling in their academics, and whenever there is an opportunity, they have to convert their opportunity into their success. Friends, I am proud to be the student of Dr. Arvind sir. I am proud to be student of Lion Dr. Nishiranja sir. I am proud to be student of Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir. At the same time, I am very fortunate that my teachers have given me this wonderful opportunity to conduct lectures on this wonderful platform of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter. I once again thank to all my teachers. Thank you very much. Friends, in every lecture, as you are aware, I bring some quotes which my teachers always guide and motivate, and I have recollected and preserved these thoughts which I would like to share with you all. And in every lecture, as you are aware, I bring these wonderful quotes. These my teachers are excellent motivators. They always motivate to accomplish our work. One of the such beautiful thought, sir, is telling, be confident. Our line Dr. Nishikant Jasar always tells, be confident. Whatever work you are doing, you do that work with proper confidence. And not only that, whatever work you are doing with confidence, it should be converted into your fruitful things. With what aim, with what purpose your work is done, that has to be achieved. And for that, you need to be expressive. You express yourself. That is what our professors always tell, especially my professor, Lion Dr. Nishikant Jasar tells, always be confident, always be expressive, always be confident not only about your work but about your deeds also. Be bold and be courageous, and you should always see the target. Keep your target in mind and have courage to convert your plans, your aims, your hard work into success. आपके पास हिम्मत होनी चाहिए, कोई भी काम करने के लिए आपके पास हिम्मत होनी चाहिए. तो आज की गुरु वंदना में एक पोयम में नरेट करना चाहता हूं जिसका एक आशय यही है, बी बोल्ड एंड करेजियस. दैट इज, आपके पास हिम्मत होनी चाहिए. सो आज की गुरु वंदना में आई वुड लाइक टू ऑफर माय थैंक्स, ग्रेटिट्यूड, माय ट्रिब्यूट टू ऑल माय टीचर्स एंड द वंडरफुल पोयम जिन्होंने लिखी है. बहुत ही सुप्रसिद्ध कवि है, कवि श्री बाल मुकुंद गुप्त जी ने एक कविता लिखी है जिसका शीर्षक है हिम्मत. तो आज की गुरु वंदना में मैं ये पोएम नरेट करना चाहता हूं. और जनरली माय टीचर इज देयर, लायन प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर निशिकांत झा सर, टू give me the permission to narrate the poem. Although my professor Dr. Nishikant Jha sir is not there, I am missing my professor Lion Dr. Nishikant Jha sir. At the same time, we all are missing Dr. Arvind sir. We are missing Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir. Although my sir is not physically present in today's lecture, but he is always guiding me, helping me, and blessing me. So I would like to ask permission from my professor Dr. Lion Nishikant Jha sir to please give me the permission to narrate this poem. Thank you. And I am aware my teacher is not over there physically, but he has already given me the green signal to conduct today's lecture and this poem. So we are going to start this poem, जिसका शीर्षक है हिम्मत. अर्ज किया है, yes friends, there was some problem with the slide. अर्ज किया है, फ्रेंड्स, कर नहीं सकते कभी मुंह से कहो ना यार. कर नहीं सकते कभी मुंह से कहो ना यार. क्यों नहीं कर सकते उसे सोचो एक बार. कर सकते हैं दूसरे 5 जन जो काम. कर सकते हैं दूसरे 5 जन जो काम, उसे करने में भला तुमको क्यों हो लाचार. काम हो या मत हो, काम हो या मत हो, पर दीजिए हिम्मत कभी ना हार. नहीं बने एक बार तो कीजिए 100 बार. कर नहीं सकते कह के अपना मुंह ना फुलाओ. कर नहीं सकते कहकर अपना मुंह मत फुलाओ. ऐसी हल्की बातें कभी अपने जी पर मत लाओ। सुस्त निकम्मे पड़े रहे आलस के मारे, सुस्त निकम्मे पड़े रहे आलस के मारे, वही लोग ऐसा कहते हैं, समझो प्यारे। देखो उनके लक्षण जो ऐसा बकते हैं, देखो उनके लक्षण जो ऐसा बकते हैं, फिर कैसे कह सकते हो कि कुछ नहीं कर सकते। जो जल में नहीं घुसे तैरना कैसे वो जाने, जो जल में नहीं घुसे वो तैरना कैसे जाने। जो गिरने से हिचके उसको चलना कौन सिखावे। जल में उतर तैरना सीखो, दौड़ना सीखो, सीखो चाल, निश्चय कर सकते हैं कहकर सदा रहो खुशहाल। निश्चय कर सकते हैं कहकर सदा रहो खुशहाल, निश्चय कर सकते हैं कहकर सदा रहो खुशहाल। With these beautiful words, I dedicate and tribute and tell my thanks to all my teachers for motivating all of us, including myself, so that we can conduct and go forward in our academics. Thank you very much to my professor, Lion Dr. Nishigan Jha sir. Thank you to my professor, Dr. Arvind Loar sir. Thank you to my professor, Dr. Kuldev Sharma sir. With these words, kind words, we require the permission from my teachers, Dr. Arvind Loar sir, from my teacher, Lion Dr. Nishigan Jha sir, and from my teacher, Dr. Kuldev Sharma sir, to start with the today's permission. I will seek their permission. Sir, please grant us the permission to start today's lecture. And as you are aware, our teachers have made all the arrangements so that we can conduct today's lecture. Thank you very much to my teachers, Dr. Arvind Loar sir, Dr. Nishigan Jha sir, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir, for granting us the permission and making all the arrangements so that we can conduct today's lecture. Friends, let us start enjoying today's wonderful lecture on this beautiful platform of Indian Accounting Association. Today is Thursday, a working day, 3rd of December 2020, and the topic which we are going to enjoy today are two topics. First is chapter number 3A from the Maharashtra State Board textbook of economics, that is elasticity of demand, and the fourth chapter, that is supply analysis. Friends, I would like to remind everyone that today is the 15th and the last lecture for subject of economics. There are 11 chapters in the textbook of Maharashtra State Board of Economics, and with the blessings of all our professors and the wonderful support given by all our four pillars of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter, we are able to complete. We started our journey in the month of June, and now in the month of December, we are in the last month of 2020, and we are here with the last topic of economics, and today we are going to complete the portion of economics. With this, I once again bow and salute and tell namaste to all the students, and I welcome all the students from Mumbai, Dahanu, District Palghar, Boisar, Bordi, Vasai, Virar, surrounding areas, and all over India and all over Maharashtra in today's wonderful lecture. Welcome everyone. Let us start enjoying today's lecture. And what are we going to enjoy in today's lecture? First, let us see. Friends, as you are aware, we start with the introduction. And before we start and go forward, I would like to interrupt and please remind everyone that recently we have just completed on 30th of November, that is just before 3 days we have celebrated, in fact, the auspicious day of Guru Nanak Jayanti. To wish you all a very, very happy Guru Nanak Jayanti. At the same time, yesterday was 2nd of December, and as our Dr. Nishikan Jha sir tells, the four pillars of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter are very important and they have supported a lot. And one of the important pillar who is there with us today online, that is our very dynamic, young and talented Kanesh Bhai Sharma. His birthday was there yesterday, 2nd of December. On behalf of all the family of Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter and on behalf of all the students, we wish once again a belated happy birthday to Kanesh Bhai. Yesterday, of course, I had wished him a very happy birthday over WhatsApp and also over the phone. So once again, I wish Kanish bhai a very very happy birthday. Kanish bhai, are you there? Kanish bhai, Kanish
Yes,
bhai, are
sir.
you there? Yes, once again, sir, wish you a very, very, very happy
Yes,
birthday.
sir.
Thank you. God bless you. Keep on excelling and thank you for your support. And with your support, we are today in the last lecture of Economics of Standard 12. Thank you very much, sir. And once again, lots of blessings.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you,
we
sir.
are going to enjoy, friends, the introduction first. As we are knowing, we are starting with the introduction. We'll see the introduction of what is elasticity of demand, and further when we will go we will be seeing the concept of elasticity of demand. We are going to understand, आपण समजणार आहोत की इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड काय आहे. आपण डिमांड अनालिसिस आपण शिकलोय, आपण युटिलिटी अनालिसिस आपण ही शिकलोय. त्याच्या आधी फर्स्ट चॅप्टर आपण बघितलंय, मायक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स आणि मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स विषय आपण स्टडी केलंय. नंतर आपण स्टडी केलं युटिलिटी अनालिसिस. नंतर जसं आपण पुढे गेलो डिमांड अनालिसिस आपण स्टडी केलं. नंतर हे इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड का आहे आणि हा नवीन टर्म का आहे, व्हॉट इज द नीड, why this term was evolved, who has given this term, that we are going to see. Further, as we go further, we are going to see types of elasticity of demand. त्याचे प्रकार आहे का इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांडचे, तो हो प्रकार आहे. तीन प्रकार इकडे तुमच्या पुस्तकामध्ये मेन्शन केलेले आहे. ते आहे इन्कम इलास्टिसिटी, प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी अँड क्रॉस इलास्टिसिटी. ते आपण शिकणार आहोत. नंतर आपण पुढे जाऊन आपण प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी जे आहे त्याच्याविषयी आपण शिकणार आहोत. प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी जे आपली मधली इलास्टिसिटी आहे, इन्कम इलास्टिसिटी नंतर प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी आहे, त्याच्याविषयी आपण थोडक्यात पुढे डिटेलमध्ये तुमच्या पुस्तकाने सांगितलंय. त्याचे प्रकार पण आहे परफेक्ट इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड, परफेक्टली इन इलास्टिसिटी, युनिटरी price elasticity, that we are going to see and study. Further, we are going to study about relatively elastic demand, relatively inelastic demand, along with its graph is also there. Lots of graphs are there in today's lecture. Beautiful lecture is there. We are going to enjoy a lot in today's lecture. Further, as we studied, methods of measuring price elasticity of demand is there. In that, friends, ratio or percentage method is there, total expenditure or total outlay method is there, then point method or geometric mean method is there. I will flash it on your screen, friends, so you can also read out there on the screen. And then we'll complete this chapter by the two various topics are there: factors influencing elasticity of demand and importance of elasticity of demand. And this chapter we will be concluding. So friends, there are, as you are aware, there are two parts in today's chapter: elasticity of demand, and the second B part will be supply analysis. So first we will see about this and then we'll go to the supply analysis, friends. Let us start our enjoyment of economics part A. That is the first part of today's lecture, lesson number 3B. I have written 3B because your textbook has written 3B. Actually, it is a separate lesson, but then your textbook has given the number 3B. Maharashtra State Board textbook has given the number lesson 3B. That is why I have written 3B. So let us start with today's enjoyment introduction. आता इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड हे काय आहे आणि का आहे ते आपण आधी पाहूया, फ्रेंड्स. Friends, in the previous chapters, we have already studied what we have studied: law of demand, demand analysis we have studied, and law of demand we have studied. And this shows that there is an inverse relationship between the quantity demanded and price. Price and quantity have got the inverse relationship. The law of demand does not explain the extent to a change in demand due to the change in price. अभी price change हो रहा है. If price is there, price decreases, the demand increases. And if the price increases, the demand decreases. Of course, there are some exceptions that also we have studied in the previous chapter. But friends, now the question is if price is decreasing. Let us suppose that the price of a commodity is decreasing. Then according to the law of demand, the demand for that particular quantity whose price is decreased will increase. Now the question is how much it will increase, up to what level increase हो रहा है, तो कितना increase हो रहा है, that is not given by law of demand. That is why there was a need for a new concept, elasticity of demand. Hence the law of demand friends, fails to explain the quantitative relationship between price and quantity demanded. Hence, Professor Alfred Marshall sir himself explained the concept of elasticity of demand. Law of demand भी उन्होंने गठन किया था उनका. लेकिन afterwards, after his research went forward, he sir came to realize, Professor Alfred Marshall sir, he realized that maybe I have not given the connection of the quantitative. Sir, Professor Alfred Marshall sir has already told about law of demand that price will decrease, demand will increase. And conversely, if the price will increase, demand will decrease. But then he realized that there is some problem over here. Increase and decrease हो रहा है तो कितना हो रहा है, that is not explained by this law. That is why he formulated this, he coined this new term. So let us see, friends, the definition of elasticity of demand, whatever Professor Alfred Marshall sir is given. Friends, Professor Alfred Marshall sir tells that elasticity of demand is great or small according to the amount demanded, which rises much or little for a given fall in price, and quantity demanded falls much or little for a given rise in price. Once again, friends, I will repeat the definitions for you. Professor Alfred Marshall sir tells, carefully listen, elasticity of a demand is great or small according to the amount demanded. Once again, elasticity of demand is greater or smaller according to what amount of is demanded, and which rises much or little for a given fall in price, and quantitative demanded falls much or little for a given rise in price. I will flash it on your screen so that you can just read out. Just for few seconds I will flash it on your screen so that you can also read out them. Friends, further moving, we will go to the next topic, that is concept of elasticity of demand. I am changing the slide. Okay, mosquitoes are there which are troubling. Generally they are not there, but today I don't know, it is there. The term elasticity indicates responsiveness of one variable to a change in the other variable. Elasticity of demand refers to the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded to a change in its price or any other factor. According to Professor Alfred Marshall sir, elasticity of demand is great or small according to the amount demanded, which rises much or little for a given fall in price, and quantity demanded falls much or little for a given price. Once again, I have narrated the definition for you. And friends, from this definition, it is absolutely clear that elasticity of demand is a technical term which describes the responsiveness of change in quantity demanded to fall or rise in its price. In other words, friends, it is the ratio of percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity to a percentage change in the price. I repeat, in other words, it is the ratio means fraction, something upon something, numerator upon denominator, of percentage change in quantity demanded. So numerator में what will come? Percentage change in quantity demanded. I have made a formula for you. I have made a slide. It will come. Right now, remember the statement. I repeat, it is the ratio of percentage change in quantity demanded. So percentage change in quantity demanded upon a commodity to a percentage change in the price. Now, elasticity of demand, we have understood its introduction, the concept we understood, who made it, Professor Alfred Marshall sir himself made it, what was the need to make it, that also we have studied, friends. Further, we are going to see the types of elasticity of demand. The prakar aayega, yes, types are there. So let us go to the next topic. I have flashed it on your screen, friends. So that here in your book, whatever of 12th standard it is written, there are three types of elasticity of demand. First is income elasticity. Second is cross elasticity. Third is price elasticity. Now, एकाच्यानंतर एक आपण पाहूया. The income elasticity means what? It refers, let us see first about income elasticity. Okay. It refers to the degree of responsiveness of a change. in quantity demanded in the income only, other factors including price remains unchanged. So here in income elasticity, price is remaining the same or price is remaining the constant. So I will flash the formula which is I made it for you. That is e to the base y, that is income elasticity. Income is generally given by y, percentage change in the quantity demanded upon percentage change in the income. That is the formula. You need to remember the formula of income elasticity. Suppose if this answer appears in your examination, you have to write the answer as well as you have to write the formula, and then you have to symbolically you have to represent. So how to represent it symbolically, I have made a slide for you. Let us see how there is a symbolic representation. Friends, EY, that is income elasticity, is equal to percentage. From the definition, it is there. Percentage change in quantity, that is percentage delta Q. Percentage delta Q. Here, delta means change. There is a difference. When there is a change, next quantity is there. So big minus small, that is called as delta. Upon percentage delta Y. Now percentage is there. So percentage, how we are calculating percentage delta Q? Percentage delta Q is written as delta Q upon Q. And down, as you can see, percentage delta Y is there. So down is there. Down means divide. So that is D for a down, D for a divide. So बाजू में ले लो, उसको divide लिखो, उसको divide, बराबर. Here, as you can see, here बाजू में ले लो उसको divide, and percentage delta Y is there. So it will be written as delta Y upon Y. Correct? And therefore, EY is equal to delta Q upon Q. And now as you are studying right from school level, percentage will become division will become multiplication, and the second fraction will become reciprocal. So divide का क्या हो जाएगा? Multiply, and second fraction will become reciprocal, multiplicative inverse. So here I have written where the terms are there, so you will understand. Represents delta represents change. Delta Q represents change in quantity demanded. Q is the original demand. Delta Y is the change in the income of the consumer, and Y is the original income. So this is what is there. Let us go further, friends. Types of income elasticity. How many types of income elasticity are mentioned in your syllabus? 3 types of income elasticity are mentioned. Positive income elasticity, negative income elasticity, and zero income elasticity are mentioned. So let me flash it on your screen. Positive. So positive income elasticity for normal goods for which demand increases with increase in income. Positive income elasticity is related to normal goods for which demand increases with increase in income. Negative income elasticity, it is there with inferior are goods which demand decrease with increase in income of the consumer. And then zero income elasticity is there. Necessary goods for which demand remains constant with increase in income of the consumer, that is your zero income elasticity. So this, now going further to the topic, is cross elasticity. It refers, friends, cross elasticity म्हणजे काय? It refers to a change in the quantity demanded of one commodity due to the change in the price of other commodity, that is complementary goods or substitute goods. So let us see the formula. E to the base c, that is cross elasticity of demand, can be expressed by the formula as e to the base c is equal to percentage change in the quantity demanded of quantity A, first quantity. So formula is there. Percentage change in quantity demanded of quantity of that commodity A. From where these formulas come? From the definition of cross elasticity. Upon percentage change in price of quantity of B. So this is there. So where A is the original commodity and B is the other commodity. So these symbolically, let us represent. How to represent it symbolically? Symbolically, cross elasticity of demand can be represented as E to the base C is equal to percentage delta Q to the base A, that is quantity demanded of A, upon percentage delta price of B, that is P to the base B. Now, as you are aware, friends, delta means change. So percentage delta, numerator is there. So percentage delta, how we can write? Percentage delta QA is delta QA, that is change of QA upon QA. So this is how we are going to write. And down is there, D for down, so D for divide, percentage delta P to the base B, that is price of B, divided. तो how we can do it? परसेंटेज अगर निकालना है तो उसको, so delta P to the base B upon delta PB. Simple, you can write P to the base. अगर बोलने में आपको नहीं है तो PB also you can say, that is price of commodity B. So this is how it is there, that we are going to see that. Okay. Now further we are seeing, now divide का क्या हो जाएगा? Multiply. Mathematical operation, you are aware, divide का क्या हो जाएगा? Multiply, and the second will be the reciprocal. This is how the mathematical representation is there, friends, where we will see the terminologies. QA is the change in quantity demanded of B. I'll flash next on the screen. That is, QA is the original quantity demanded of quantity commodity A. PB is the original price of commodity B, and delta PB is the change in the price of commodity B. Going further, types of cross elasticity, what it is there? It is there. Types of cross elasticity किती आहे? तीन प्रकारचे आहेत. पॉझिटिव्ह क्रॉस इलास्टिसिटी, नेगेटिव्ह क्रॉस इलास्टिसिटी and zero cross elasticity. आता पॉझिटिव्ह इलास्टिसिटी where you can see in substitute goods. Example, tea नाहीतर कॉफी, चहा अथवा कॉफी. So that will come in positive elasticity. Negative, complementary goods, sugar and tea. And zero, non-related. Tea and books are not related. Of course, tea and sugar are related. Not always related. Some people are taking tea without sugar, but let us not assume that. Normally, tea is there, tea and sugar are related. ऐसा माना जाता है. So, zero elasticity also we have seen. Now let us go further and see about the price elasticity. आता price elasticity म्हणजे काय? Professor Alfred Marshall sir has told about price elasticity. Sir tells that price elasticity of demand is the ratio, once again ratio, numerator upon denominator, of proportionate change in the quantity demanded of commodity A to a given proportionate change in its price. So these, from this definition, now what will come? Formula will come. Very next slide, what is going to come? Formula, let me flash it on your screen, friends. This is the definition. From this definition, who is given? Professor Alfred Marshall sir is given. From this definition, formula will be made. So let us see the formula on the screen. Price elasticity of demand is expressed as E to the base D. DQ, why it is the elasticity of demand? Their cross elasticity was there, to E to the base C. So ED, अगर आपको बोलने में ED, E to the base D अगर बोलने में नहीं होता, ED बोलो तो भी चलेगा. याद रखना जरूरी है, बराबर लिखना जरूरी है. But while writing, write it to the base. E to the base D is equal to percentage change in the quantity demanded upon percentage change in its price. Let me flash it on this. So this is the formula which is made. Now naturally we have seen that symbolically how we can represent it. Symbolically, price elasticity is represented as E to the base D, or ED as you say, is equal to percentage delta Q. Delta means change. Percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. So this is how you represent. ED is equal to percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P, as I said. Now what will happen? Percentage को निकालना है, So percentage, if you want to remove percentage delta q, how we can write and how we can calculate? Percentage delta q is equal to delta q upon q. So I will flash it on your screen. And down, d for down, d for divide. Okay, so this पर्सेंटेज डेल्टा पी, आता पर्सेंटेजला काढायचं आहे तर कसं काढू शकतात आपण? पर्सेंटेज डेल्टा पर्सेंटेजला काढायचं आहे म्हणजे डेल्टा पी अपॉन पी. सो आई विल फ्लैश इट ऑन योर स्क्रीन एंड देन मैथमेटिकल रूल, डिवाइड का क्या हो जाएगा? मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा एंड हियर मल्टीप्लाई होगा एंड सेकंड विल बी द रेसिप्रोकल विल बी देयर. तो डेल्टा पी अपॉन पी जो आपको दिख रहा है वो पी अपॉन डेल्टा पी हो जाएगा. यस, so this is how it is there, and then we will have to see the terminology के कौन क्या बोलता है. Of course we are aware. What we are aware? We are aware that the Q is the original quantity demanded of the commodity, while delta Q is the difference between the new and the original quantity demanded. P will be what? Original price of the commodity will be there. Yes, as you can see, and delta P will be the difference in the new price and the original price, whatever is there. So now we will see the types of price elasticity of demand. This is also very important. Each and every topic is very interesting and very important. Practical corrections are there. Economics is connected to the real life. If you understand the concept of economics, then it is very easy to solve the problems in real life. As our Dr. Arvind Lower sir tells, as our line professor Dr. Nishan Jha sir tells, as our dynamic professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir tells, every problem has a solution. There is no problem without solution. So problem of economics, how we can solve, उसके लिए ये सब है. At this age maybe you may not understand, but this is all practical, real things. So types of price elasticity of demand are of 5 types. What are the types? Perfectly elastic demand, as we have seen in the introduction. In that it is symbolically represented. Perfectly elasticity होगा तो infinity, that is ED is infinity. That is not defined. It cannot be measured. Practically, this is not possible. So, perfectly elastic demand, practically it is not possible. Second type is there, perfectly inelastic demand. Here, perfectly inelastic demand, ED is 0. That is, price elasticity is 0. That is what it is called. That will be unitary elastic demand. Generally, नाम में छुपा है. Unitary means one. I always tell this. नाम में सब कुछ छुपा रहता है. तो unitary elastic demand, तो unitary means 1. So ED is 1. Relatively elastic demand, it is relatively. So there will be relation, comparison. So relatively elastic demand, ED will be greater than 1. And then relatively inelastic demand, inelastic it is, relatively inelastic. Inelastic, lesser than 1. So these are the 4 types which we are going to see. Now let us see one by one. Let us give some light on each and every topic. The first is there, short topics are there, friends. The first is there, perfectly elastic demand. That is ED is infinity. That is infinite. So let us see ये क्या है. Friends, when there is a slight or no change, that is zero change in the price, this will bring about infinite change in the quantity demanded. थोड़ा भी price change हुआ लेकिन demand बहुत change हो गया. So that is in the quantity demanded of that commodity, it is called as perfectly elastic demand. Perfectly it is called as elastic demand. But friends, this is only a theoretical concept. Practically this is very difficult to find. The book is telling it is not possible practically to get. उसका उदाहरण है, for example 10% fall in price. 10% हुआ, correct? 10% if it is fallen down price, then there is demand is rising too much. ये सेल के टाइम पे हम देखते हैं, बट देन देयर इज इनफाइनाइट राइज तो नहीं है, वो फाइनाइट है. इनफाइनाइट राइज सेल होता है, कोई क्लोथ, सम गुड्स, सम कमोडिटीज का सेल होता है. So at that time you see generally it is found that there is, if price are slashed down 10%, 20% sale is there, so there is lot of demand. Yes, but that demand is not infinite. So their theoretical concept is there, practically it is not possible. So it can be, now from the definition this can be converted into formula. Again the same thing, e to the base d is percentage change in quantity demanded upon percentage change in price. So this is there. I have written the formula from the book and I have made a slide on it. And उसका वैल्यू क्या आएगा forever. That is ED will be coming 0. That is infinity. ED is infinite. So these can be represented graphically. Let us see. X and Y axis are there. Let us label it. Origin, X axis, Y axis. Y axis always price you have to take in the on the Y axis, and quantity supplied you have to take on the demanded on the Y X axis. And here TD curve is there. Quantity demanded TD curve. It's a parallel to the. I'll go reverse once again. And flash price quantity demanded. Now we'll do it. Price is there selected. So this is how, friends, this is how we can do it. Friends, the demand curve on your screen is what? It is a horizontal line which is parallel to X axis, indicating perfectly elastic demand. Perfectly inelastic demand, that is ED is 0. What is it? When a percentage change in price has no effect on the quantity demanded of a commodity, it is called perfectly inelastic demand. For example, 20% fall in price will have no effect on the quantity demanded. So that is called that the definition. Now we will convert this into formula, friends. So ED is equal to percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. We have taken the example 20% price change. So 0 upon 20. There is no change in the quantity demanded. Although प्राइस बढ़ गया लेकिन क्वांटिटी कुछ भी चेंज हुआ नहीं, फर्क हुआ नहीं क्वांटिटी डिमांड में. तो 0 अपॉन वट एवर परसेंटेज है, 20 या 30, 40, वट एवर नंबर यू राइट, फाइनली 0 अपॉन एनी नंबर इज गोइंग टू कम, इट इज इक्वल टू 0. So this is how it is going to come, friends. लेकिन in practice such a situation rarely occurs, friends. Example, demand for salt, milk. Your book is written, so I have made a slide of it. This can be represented graphically also. X and Y axis, X axis, Y axis, origin will label. Yes, I have labeled here. Then price and quantity demanded. Price on Y axis, quantity on X axis. Then price will be there. Now here you see this is the original demand. And या तो बढ़ गया या तो घट गया, ये देखो. I'm flashing on the screen. So this is how you have to make. The answer is asked. You have to do it, friends. Friends, the diagram on the screen tells that when a price rise from OP to OR, that is ऊपर या नीचे, when price falls or price rises, demand remains unchanged. Price ऊपर गया या तो नीचे गया, then even there it is going to be the same. Hence, friends, the demand curve is a vertical straight line. You see demand curve is here. Did you देखा आपने? Straight it is. बराबर? Straight it is. I am saying it is flashing. Therefore, the demand curve is a vertical straight line parallel to y-axis, straight, indicating perfectly inelastic demand. This is very important. The left side you can label P and R, you can label, correct? So now let us go to the next, that is the third one, unitary elastic demand. ED is 1. Unitary, as the name suggests, ED is 1. When a percentage change in price leads to proportionate change in the quantity demanded, then demand is said to be unitary elastic. I repeat, when a percentage change in the price leads to proportionate change in the quantity demanded. Means the percentage में what price is changing. Suppose the price is increasing by 20%, then the demand is also 20% decrease, whatever, or increase. Okay, so if the price flashes by 20%, law of demand करेंगे, price slash हो गया, decrease हो गया, तो demand increase हो गया. So price decrease by 20%, then the demand also is 20%. Then it is called as per unitary elastic demand. Here your book has taken the example of 50%. If the price falls by 50%, then there is rise in demand by 50%. Then it is called as unitary elasticity of demand. Let us do it numerically with the help of formula. Let us substitute that in formula, friends. So ED, what is the formula? ED percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. You are aware. Delta means change. Change in quantity, change in price. So what hypothetical example we have taken? That there is a change in price, decrease in price by 50%. So increase in quantity by 50%. So let us substitute that. So 50 upon 50. So it is going to come 1, friends. As you can see here, ED is 1 and we will block it. This, now we have seen the definition. We have taken the hypothetical example and substituted in the formula, friends. Now we can do it graphical. Graphical representation we will see, friends. Graphical representation also we will see, friends. Axis, we have to draw it. X and Y axis. Origin you have to label, friends. Price and quantity demanded. Here let us assume hypothetical. Just let us assume that without scale it is. On the Y axis P is there and here Q is there. So X axis and then Y axis you have to label. Q you have to label. Q quantity demanded on X axis. You take it and P you take on the Y axis. Now let us assume that price is decreasing. From P it is coming to P1. So quantity also will, okay, price will decrease. So quantity will increase. So whatever you are decreasing over here. Say for example, you are taking a scale and you are decreasing by say, you are decreasing it by say 2 centimeter. So 2 centimeter का gap लिया P में. P to P1 you are taking the gap of say 2 centimeter. Yeah, like this. If 2 centimeter gap you are taking. So same gap, proportionate gap you take on the Q also. So Q to Q1 you do it. Here is there. And here you see these also gap you do by 2 centimeter. And friends, then join it and indicate by arrow, okay, that the gap is same. You measure it. Here if it is 2 centimeter or maybe 2.5 centimeter or say 1.5 centimeter, whatever you are decreasing, don't keep 2 less also. Increase maybe 2 centimeters, maybe proportionate. 2 and 2 over here you do. So and then you do here, indicate that, and then you see here curve will be like this. It will not be, you don't do a straight line, do a curve. DD you label and then you do it. ED is equal to 1. So friends, the diagram on the your screen, friend, shows that when the price falls, original price is what? OP. Original is OP. O से लेके P तक. And there is decrease to P1. So the new price is OP1. And so what is the original demand? OQ. And what is the rise in the demand? Naturally price falls, so demand is going to increase. So OQ नहीं होने वाले, OQ1 होने वाले. So therefore the slope or the demand curve is rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Hyperbola is a type of shape. Hyperbola, parabola, it is there in the mathematics of 12th standard. Ellipse, hyperbola, parabola. So these are the terms. If somebody is telling, if not understanding what is hyperbola, it is one of the term in the mathematics. Friends, moving further, relatively elastic demand. Now relatively क्या बोला? Elastic. Relative म्हणजे relation, greater small होने वाला है. Relatively, it means there is the relation. Relation means comparison. Comparison म्हणजे greater or smaller. And because elastic, sorry friends, relatively means relation will be there, greater smaller, and elastic bola, so it should be greater than 1. I repeat, relatively elastic, so greater than 1. Relatively inelastic, relatively means again comparison, Inelastic means lesser than 1, which we are going to see after this. First, let us see relatively elastic demand. When a percentage change in price leads to more than proportionate change in the quantity demanded, the demand is said to be relatively inelastic. For example, let's assume that hypothetical example, let us see, and then we'll put in the formula. Let us see the same thing graph, we will see. Let us assume that there is 50% fall in price. अगर प्राइस 50% डिक्रीज हो गया तो लेकिन डिमांड इज इंक्रीज्ड, प्राइस कम हो गया तो डिमांड तो बढ़ने वाला है. प्राइस इज डिक्रीज सो डिमांड इज नॅच्युरली गोइंग टू इन्क्रीज. आता प्राइस कमी झाली तर डिमांड 50% कमी नाही झाली, डिमांड डबल झाली 100%. क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड किती झाली 100% झाली. तर त्याला काय सांगता आपण, रिलेटिव्हली इनइलास्टिक डिमांड आपण त्याला सांगतात. तो ईडी इज ग्रेटर देन 1. तर आपण त्याचं पाहूया, आपण ते कशा प्रकारे सिम्बॉलिकली आपण फॉर्म्युलामध्ये टाकून आपण ते सबस्टिट्यूट करून इन व्हॅल्यूज पाहूया की ग्रेटर देन 1 आपल्याला भेटते का, ते भेटणारच ते. तर ईडीचा फॉर्म्युला काय, ईडी इज इक्वल टू पर्सेंटेज क्यू, पर्सेंटेज डेल्टा क्यू. ईडी इज पर्सेंटेज डेल्टा क्यू अपॉन पर्सेंटेज डेल्टा पी. प्रत्येक मध्ये फॉर्म्युला ती सेम आहे, आपण ते प्रोफेसर एल्फ्रेड मार्शल सरांनी दिलं आहे, तर सेम आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये आपण ते सबस्टिट्यूट करून पाहूया. तर ईडी देअरफॉर ईडी, तर ते किती झाली, 50% प्राइस कमी झाली तर डिमांड किती इन्क्रीज झाली, 100% इन्क्रीज झाली. तर पर्सेंटेज डेल्टा क्यू आपण काय लिहिणार, 100 लिहिणार त्याच्यामध्ये आपण. आणि प्राइस किती कमी झाली, 50 कमी झाली, तर 50 आपण पाहूया डिवाइड. आता 100 डिवाइडेड बाय 50, तर तुम्हाला काय भेटणार, ईडी ची व्हॅल्यू काय भेटणार, 2 भेटणार, 2. and we will block it, and this is always greater than 1. तो आपल्याला ते भेटला, therefore ed is greater than 1. Now let us represent it this graphically. Let us represent. So x axis is there, y axis origin we will have to label it, x and y axis origin we will have to label it. Price and quantity demanded is there, price on the y axis, quantity demanded on the x-axis, friends. Same thing we have studied in demand analysis also. The graphical representation very interesting, and you should be well versed. Practice. Always it is told. Our teachers always tell. Dr. Arvind Loar sir tells. Dr. Nishikant Jha sir tells. Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir tells. Always. Practice makes man perfect. Human being can achieve perfection by practice. So all these graphs, friends, you will have to take a notebook and you have to do it. How it is there. Once again, you can hear these videos which are available on YouTube. While revising, you do it, practice, sit with books and practice it continuously. If you want to excel and achieve new heights and understand, that is also there. Of course, marks are important, but that is not the only thing. What are you going to do by only bringing the marks if you are not understanding the concept and if you don't know how to apply this in real life? Of course, your age is 12th standard age is quite less now to apply in real life, but as you go further, you will be applying this in your real life also. So coming back to the studies, we are going to represent it. Let us take price is there, we are taken on y axis. So let us hypothetically anywhere. Now question will come, sir, where to take price, पूरा axis में कहाँ लो, कहीं भी ले लो आप, ठीक है, प्राइस ले लो, लेकिन जो आपका है 50% 100% वो आपको बराबर रखना है. That you have to take properly. ते बराबर कहू शकतात. Say for example, midway little bit higher than midway you have taken P, and here less than midway you have taken SQ. Join it, correct? Now decrease. Now you see, for example, 2 centimeter you come down. P to P1 so come down by 2 centimeter. Let us assume that you come down by 2 centimeter indicated by here. Now ये 2 है तो उधर 4 कर दो, 100% डबल, 50 का डबल कर दो उसका. So you do this double. Take it Q1, 4 centimeter you take it. Then you join it. And then you indicate that this Q to Q1. And you just see that if P to P1, actually you have to measure from OP, say OP1. But I'm just explaining how you should write. P to P1, if suppose you have taken 2 centimeter. So Q to Q1 you will take 4 centimeters, friends. And then once again you join the curve, labeled it as DD, and indicate it that ED is greater than 1, friends. So this is how is your graphical representation. Friends, as you can see, when the price falls from OP to OP1, that is P से लेके P1 आया तो OP1, that is 50%. Demand rise, you write the comment. Whatever you are seeing on the screen there, you write. So demand rises from OQ to OQ1, that is 100%. Hence, the demand curve has a flatter slope. Slope is little bit flatter. And coming to the last one, that is unitary relative inelastic demand, friends. So let us, very interesting, as I said, friends, topics are very interesting, all subjects are very interesting, but then when graphical presentation comes, it becomes even more interesting to visualize, to enjoy the lecture. It is very enjoyable to see because visual presentations are there, graphs are there, so it becomes, according to me, even more enjoyable. Friends, moving on to the next topic, unitary relatively inelastic demand. Relatively म्हणजे comparison आहे, comparison means greater smaller. I repeat, relatively म्हणजे comparison, there is relation, that is comparison is there, so comparison will be there, तो greater smaller will be there, but बाजू में क्या है, relatively inelastic, elastic म्हणजे it is smaller than 1. So what is it now? When a percentage change in the price leads to less than proportionate change in the quantity demanded, demand is said to be relatively inelastic. उदाहरण आपण घेऊया, 50% to 100% we took it relatively elastic demand. Now what we will do here, 50% का हम ले लेंगे 25%. So 50% fall in the price leads to 25% rise in quantity demanded. This is an hypothetical example. So let us see that this hypothetical example, let us put in the formula and see. So symbolically how unitary elasticity is, how it is the unitary is there, but it's not unitary, relatively inelastic demand. So we'll substitute 25 upon this 0.5 and it is less than 1, friends. We'll represent this graphically, symbolically. We'll take it P to P1, price and quantity. Price will take somewhere higher than, middle से थोड़ा ऊपर, वापस वही same. Price will fall down, P to P1 करेंगे, friends. Screen got stuck maybe. Yeah. Now it is moving. Yes. Correct. Screen got stuck. Okay. So P to P1. Let us see the, what we have taken example, 50%, price decrease 50%, so the quantity 25%. So suppose you are taking P to P1, you are taking, friends, say let us assume 4 centimeter है, तो ये उसका 4 का आधा ले लेगा, 2 ले लेगा, here 2 centimeter only, and then your curve will not come, your straight line will come, DD, and you indicate elasticity of demand is less than 1, that is 1 is greater than elasticity of demand. So friends, what you can see on the screen, the commentary of the diagram you have to write. When price falls from OP to OP1, that is 50%, demand rises from OQ to OQ1. Price is falling, but the demand कितना rise हो रहा है, how much, as why this elasticity of demand concept was given by Professor Albert Marshall sir, although it is given law of demand, because it failed quantitative relationship. How much there is rise in price, fall in price, but rise in quantity, how much it is there. So that was failed to explain. So new concept has come. So hence the demand curve has a steeper slope, as you can see, very steep slope is there here. So once again, the summary we have, it is there in the textbook. I have made a table for you. This it is going to be very easy for you to revise. So degree of elasticity of demand, ED will be 0. Then types of elasticity of demand and description. क्या होता है उसमें? If ED is 0, then it is called as perfectly, as you can see on the screen. I'm reading from the screen. थोड़ा पास में आके थोड़ा read करता हूँ because it is very far away screen. Yes, ED is 0. ED is 0. So perfectly inelastic demand, and it is called as change. So ED is 0 means what we have seen, change in price does not affect demand at all. Change in price is not affecting demand at all. While ED is 1, it is called as unitary demand. Change in demand is equal to change in price. Then I will change the slide. ED is greater than 1, friends. So it is called as relatively elastic demand. Change in price leads to more than proportionate change in demand. And fourth, as we have seen, whatever we have studied now, again it is summarized into table. ED is less than 1. That is relatively inelastic demand. Change in demand is less than change in price, and ED is infinity. That is perfectly elastic demand. Slight change, थोड़ा भी change हुआ, अरे बाप रे, too much, infinite rise. We cannot measure the demand, that much will increase. So let us go to the next topic. अभी screen का काम नहीं है मुझे topic of explanation. Let me go a little far. Yes, friends. So methods. Now we will see the next topic. Methods of measuring price elasticity of demand. First method is ratio or percentage method, friends. Let me flash it on your screen. अभी ये मेथड क्या बोल रहा है? Ratio method is telling that according to this method, elasticity of demand is measured by dividing the percentage change in demand by the percentage change in price. Once again, dividing the percentage change in demand by the percentage change in price. Percentage method is also known as the arithmetic method. It is developed and given by Professor Alfred Marshall, sir. It can be represented by the formula as follows on your screen. ED will be percent from the definition, percentage change in quantity demanded upon the same thing again, same thing. It is there. It is percentage change in price. Symbolically also the same representation is there. Price elasticity is represented as, okay, ED is percentage delta Q upon percentage delta P. Therefore, as I am flashing it on your screen, friends, ED is delta, now percentage delta Q. वापस वही कैसा? Percentage delta Q is delta Q upon Q. Down is there, D for down. Down कौन आए? नीचे कौन आए? Percentage delta P. तो down will come divided by delta P upon P. And mathematical concept, divide का क्या हो जाएगा? Multiply. Divide का क्या हो जाएगा? Multiply, and it will be the reciprocal. And then you have to write what is what. Let us take one more example now, and let us put in the formula and see. Suppose price is there 20, the quantity demand is 10. Now there is price rise according to law of demand 20 to 25. So natural quantity should be down. So hypothetical example, it is 9 is taken here. The original price is 20 and new price is 25, as you can see on the table. Solution. So what is the change in price? Big minus small, that is 25 minus 20 is 5. So delta P will be 5. What is it? Write it, difference between new and the original price. What was the original quantity demanded? 10. Then it became 9. So what is the change in the demand? Big minus small, 10 minus 9 is 1. So delta Q will be 1. Difference between new quantity demanded. Let us put on substituting these, we will substitute the formula. Substituting the formulas, Here we will get that formula. We will write. Aware of the formula. What is delta Q? In the previous slide, we saw the delta Q calculated one. Quantity originally demanded is 10, 20 upon 5. Multiplication with 21 is 20, 10 5 is 50, 0 cancel, 2 upon 5 is 0.4. Calculation, you can do it. So it is less than 1. It means elasticity of demand is relatively inelastic. Why? Because it is less than 1. So friends, feel you should know that while using percentage method of measuring price elasticity of demand, we must keep few things. We should be aware about the few things. What it should be that the value of elasticity of demand is negative because of the negative slope of demand curve. But for the sake of simplicity, we ignore the negative sign. And price elasticity of demand is a pure number, friends. It does not depend upon the units in which price of the commodity and its quantity are measured. Friends, moving on to the next, total expenditure method. This also tells that total amount of expenditure before and after the price change is taken, the values, and they are compared. This is also developed by Professor Alfred Marshall, sir, and sir has given the formula. Total expenditure is price into quantity demanded. Let me flash it on your screen, friends. Here, so sir is told further, because Professor Alfred Marshall is, sir is told total expenditure method, further propositions are there. Further things he is told, sir is told that there is relatively inelastic demand, it is greater than one. Same thing is that, friends. When with a given change in price of the commodity, total outlay increases and elasticity of demand is greater than 1. So unitary, ED will be equal to 1. Relatively inelasticity, elastic demand, that is ED will be less than 1. That will be there. Total outlay method. One more hypothetical example table is given. Maybe in your exams solution comes, then you should be prepared. Price of commodity A, B, and C are there. 10 to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Quantity demanded are 6. So 10 6 are is 60, as you can see on the table. 25 is 100. 34 is 120. 43 is 120. 52 is 100. 61 is 60. Elasticity of demand, it is written there. As you can see, friends, original price is rupees 10. Quantity demand is how much? 6. Therefore, total expenditure 10 6 is 60. When price rises to 20, the demand falls according to law of demand. It becomes, earlier how much it was at 6 units, now it will become 5 units, as you can see on the screen. Hypothetical example. The total expenditure is what? 25 is 100. Correct? Earlier expenditure was 10 6 is 60. So in this case, total outlay is greater than the original expenditure. Hence, this is an example of elasticity of demand is greater than 1. That is relatively elastic demand. समझ में आ गया आपको? So 10 6 is 60, but here 25 is 100. And next rise, 100 is greater than 60, that is ED is greater than 1. In the next example B, original price is 30 per unit, as you can see on the screen. And the quantity demanded is 4 units. 4 units. So expenditure will be how much? 34 is 120. But when the price from 30 it becomes 240, the quantity price is increasing. So again law of demand क्या बोलता है? Unit should decrease. So 4 का 3 हो गया. So 43 is 120. So ऊपर भी 34 is 120 and down also 43 is 120. So in this case, total outlay is the same. 120 is equal to 120. Hence, this is an example of elasticity of demand, which is equal to 1. Hence, this is called as unitary elasticity of demand. Okay, unitary elastic demand it is called. Now, as you can see in the C, example C, price what they have taken? 50 per unit. क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड 50 में कितना है 2, तो 52 सर इज 100. टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर कितना हो गया 100 रुपया. हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल, व्हेन प्राइस राइजेस, अभी 50 का 60 हो गया प्राइस. नाउ अकॉर्डिंग टू लॉ ऑफ डिमांड प्राइस विल राइज, तो क्वांटिटी हैज टू डिक्रीज. 2 है तो क्वांटिटी 0 तो नहीं हो सकता, 1 करेंगे एग्जांपल में. एंड द टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर विल बी हाउ मच, 61, that is 16. So let us compare, 2 is greater, earlier expenditure was 100, now expenditure is 60. So in this case total outlay in the next second one is less than the original expenditure, hence elasticity of demand is less than 1, that is ed is less than 1. Hence this is an example of relatively inelastic demand. So it comes this table, you have to memorize and you have to write, not necessarily the same value but the concept should be same. If numbers 50 का 60 होगा, 50 का 70 हो गए तो भी चलेगा, but then concept should be there where you have to write ed is greater than 1, that the result should come ed is greater than 1. Simple. Now moving on to the point method of point method or geometric method. Professor Alfred Marshall sir has developed another concept and method to measure elasticity of demand. This method का name sir is given geometric method or point method, that you can see on the screen. Here again there is a ratio method and total outlay method are unable to measure properly the elasticity of demand at a given point on the demand curve, and hence at any point on the demand curve, whether it is sloping, steeping, going upwards, downwards, elasticity of demand can be measured by the formula which is given by our Professor Alfred Marshall sir. Professor Alfred Marshall sir tells that ed, that is point elasticity, here ed will be point elasticity of demand, will be lower segment of the demand curve below a given point. Let us assume that point is L. Sir is told that is why upon upper segment of the demand curve at a given point, let us assume that as point U. So demand curve may be a line or it may be a non-linear also, as we can see, we have seen earlier also. It can be a straight slope, upward slope, downward slope. It can be a hyperbola also, curving also it can be there. So let us see the example of linear demand curve. When a demand curve is linear, that is a straight line, we extend the demand curve to meet the y-axis at point A and x-axis at point B. Price elasticity of demand at x-axis is 0 and y-axis is infinite. Elasticity of demand will be different at each point, friends. Let us now represent it graphically. X-axis will take, and then we will take the y-axis, we'll label it x, y and origin, friends. We'll label, give the heading also point method, that is linear demand curve. Price we have to take on the x-axis, quantity demanded we will take on the y-axis, friends. We'll plot the points from the hypothetical table are there that we are going to point it, plot it in fact, and here upper one we will write A point, ed is infinity. Second we will write P1 point, we will do on the curve, ed is greater than 1. Then we will go original is P, ed will be 1 unitary, and then we will be doing P1 point where ed is lesser than 1, and then we will write point B where ed is equal to 0. So this is a very beautiful graphical representation of point method. Once again going further to the non-linear demand curve. When the demand curve is non-linear, friends, that is convex in origin, to measure price elasticity of demand, we will have to draw a tangent AB touching the given point at the demand curve, if it is the sloping, curving, and extending it to y. It can be represented with the help of the formula ed, lower segment of the tangent below given point, upon upper segment of the tangent above a given point. So same thing, we'll take the axis, point method, non-linear demand curve, we'll give the labeling x and y, origin, price will take on the x-axis, quantity demand on the y-axis. Supply analysis में आपको ध्यान रखना है, quantity supplied will come, here it is demanded, because elasticity of demand. Take care about, I will draw your attention when the second chapter is going on. At that time also I will draw your attention. Your quantity demanded, friends, take care that its quantity demanded is on x-axis. When supply analysis will come, it will be quantity supplied. So उसमें आपको ध्यान रखना है. Anyway, बाकी the presentation will be the same. Price, of course, price will remain in demand as well as in supply on y-axis. Here, as we have taken the example, as you can see, friends, P and Q points we have taken. Introducing. Here you see. Actually, first curve will come. First, the curve will come. In practical things, first what will come? Curve will come, and then the tangent will come. But while drawing, we are drawing in the, because it is not possible. Curve karo or baad mein karo, it is not possible. The curve, how you will draw curve? You can take protractor. Based on protractor, you have to take and you can draw a curve. Some people are using that compass also in so-called, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, राउंडर भी बोलते हैं. Compass or rounder you can take, but I feel protractor if करो तो आपका फटाफट हो जाता है. Time few minutes will be saved. Labeled it as DD. So this is your representation of the graph. Okay, moving further, I'm changing the slide. If EB is equal to EA, then ED is equal to 1. Then it is unitary elastic demand. If EB is greater than EA, then ED will be greater than 1. That will be relatively elastic demand. If EB is less than EA, that will be ED will be lesser than 1. Lesser आया, मुझे क्या आएगा? Relatively inelastic demand. Now let us see what are the factors which are influencing the elasticity of demand. 10 more minutes and this chapter will get over. So slides are more, but the matter is not much to explain. Although slides are more, but the diagrammatic presentation is there, so it gets over fast. Supply analysis chapter is a little bit shorter than elasticity of demand. Factors influencing, let us enjoy the factors. We are here to enjoy, friends. So let us enjoy the next topic. Factors. What are the factors influencing the elasticity of demand? Demand elastic hota hai. Elasticity is there in demand. So what are the factors? So first factor, many factors are there. In that factors, first is nature of commodity. Commodity kaisa hai, uske upar aapka elasticity of demand is avlamban is there. So let me flash it on your screen. Nature of the commodity. By nature, we can classify commodities as necessaries, luxury goods, comfort goods, etc. So according to the need, nature of the need. So hence demand for necessary goods like textbook. अपने पास textbook नहीं होगा तो study कैसे करेंगे? बीमार पड़ेंगे तो medicines चाहिए, खाने के लिए रोज food चाहिए. So these are related. These commodities are there. Commodities mean goods. So these goods are very necessary. Without these, we cannot carry our daily goods. So the demand is relatively inelastic, and for comforts and luxury goods like say perfumes are there, furnitures are there, electronic goods are there, cars are there, demand is relatively elastic. So that is the nature of the goods or commodities will be there. Then availability of substitutes. If any substitute products are there, then again there will be the one of the important factor which is affecting the elasticity of demand. Demand of a commodity will be more elastic if the close substitutes are available in the market. For example, lemon juice, sugar cane, etc. But commodities having no close substitutes like salt, the demand will be inelastic. Salt का कोई पर्याय है क्या? No, there is no alternative. So that is very important. If sugar cane juice is there, lemon juice is there, नहीं तो cold drink you can take it. There is soft drink you can take if you like it. So if substitutes are there, then there will be elastic demand. But substitutes are not there, then inelastic demand. Always remember by this example, substitutes, if it is not there, then the demand will be inelastic. If substitutes are there, then it will be elastic. Third point is number of uses. Single use have less elastic demand, while multiple goods have more elastic demand. For example, coal, electricity, etc. Electricity has got multiple use, so more elastic demand is there. Habits will be there. Habits make demand for a certain goods really relatively inelastic. For example, some addicted goods are there or addicted medicines are there, so that will be there. Durability, the demand for durable, that is, which is very durable, is not generally breaking, or generally we don't have to change it again and again. For long term use it is there. Example, washing machines are there, furniture is there. The demand for perishable goods is inelastic. Why? We have to do it again and again. So durable goods elastic, again and again inelastic. Sixth factor is complementary goods. The demand for commodity which is used in conjunction with other commodities to satisfy single want is relatively inelastic. Example, fall in price of mobile handsets may lead to rise in demand for SIM cards. मोबाइल ज्यादा बिकेगा तो साथ में सिम कार्ड भी बिकेगा. So that is also important. Next is income of the consumer. Demand for goods is usually inelastic. If the consumer has high income, demand pattern of a very rich and extremely poor person is rarely affected by significant changes in price. Eighth factor is urgency of needs. Goods which are urgently needed will have relatively inelastic demand. For example, medicines. Luxury goods which are less urgent have relatively elastic demand. Then ninth and the last factor which is discussed in your book is time factor. Let me flash it on your screen. Elasticity of demand is always related to the period of time. It varies with the length of the time period. Generally speaking, friends, longer the duration of the period, greater will be the elasticity of demand and vice versa. This is due to a consumer can change the consumption habits in long run in favor of cheaper and substitute commodities. Moving on to the next topic, importance of elasticity of demand. Let me flash it on the screen. त्याचं महत्व काय का आपण शिकतो. Friends, the concept of elasticity of demand is great importance to workers, farmers, to governments. Lord Keynes has considered this concept to be most important contribution of Professor Alfred Marshall. Following are its important, friends. First is importance to the producer. On screen, friends, importance to producer, I said. Every producer has to decide the price of their product at which they are going to sell it. For this purpose, elasticity of demand becomes very important. In the demand for a product is, if the demand for the product is relatively inelastic, the producer will fix up a higher price and vice versa. The concept of elasticity of demand is also useful to a monopolist to practice price discrimination. Next point is importance to government. Taxation policy of government is based on the concept of elasticity of demand. Those commodities whose demand is relatively inelastic will be taxed more because it will not affect the demand much, and of course vice versa. Important in factor pricing, that is the next importance. The concept of elasticity of demand is useful in determination of price. The factor of production for which the demand is relatively inelastic can command a higher price as compared to those having elastic demand. For example, workers can ask for higher wages if the demand for the product produced by them is relatively inelastic. Fourth is importance in foreign trade. The concept of elasticity of demand is useful to determine terms and conditions of foreign trade. The countries exporting commodities for the demand is relatively inelastic can raise the price. For example, organization of petroleum exporting countries, that is OPEC countries, have increased the price of oil and petroleum products so many times. The concept is also useful in formulating export and import policies of a particular country. Fifth is public utilities. In case of public utilities like transportation by roads or railways, government can either subsidize or nationalize them to avoid consumer exploitation. And the sixth point which is discussed in your book is proportion of expenditure. Sixth importance is proportion of expenditure. In the proportion of expenditure in a person's income is small, then the demand for the product is relatively inelastic. उदाहरण तौर पे newspaper, if the proportion of expenditure is large, the demand for the product is relatively elastic. So what are the determinants of this elasticity, price elasticity of demand? Let us see. The table is made. Let us flash the table on the screen. Let me come closer to the computer screen. Determinants. Nature is there, as you can see in the white column. Nature, price elasticity of demand. Availability of factors. If factors are abundant, then what will happen? Relatively elastic. Summary it is made. If factors are only few, importance rate is given, relatively inelastic. Then second is nature of commodity we have seen. Necessary goods, relatively inelastic. Luxury good, relatively elastic. Example we have seen cars. Then habits, if habituated is there, inelastic. Non-habituated, then relatively elastic. I will change the screen. Time period. Short run, relatively inelastic. Long run goods, relatively elastic. Possibility of postponement, relatively elastic. Impossible to postpone, relatively inelastic. So this is the summary which you have to remember. Again, if you are see, lot of concepts are there. If you tend to forget or get mixed up, so once again you can refer this table. Your concepts will be again clear. Several uses are there, relatively inelastic. Example, electricity. Specific use, relatively inelastic. So that is there. With these friends, we end this chapter of elasticity of demand. We have enjoyed this chapter a lot. So thank you very much, Indian Accounting Association Thane chapter, for helping us to complete elasticity of demand. Thank you very much, Chairman Dr. Arvind Luar sir. Thank you very much, General Secretary, Line Professor Dr. Nishikant Jha sir. Thank you, Treasurer Professor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma sir. We have completed the chapter, and the last chapter we are starting supply analysis, friends. So let us enjoy supply analysis. I will flash it on your screen, friends. Supply analysis we are going to start, friends. Let us enjoy this chapter. As you are aware, we start the chapter with the introduction. Supply analysis म्हणजे काय ते आपण पाहूया. आणि हा लहान चॅप्टर आहे, एवढा काही मोठा चॅप्टर नाही. The very sweet chapter and the last chapter we are going to start introduction. Let us see the introduction of this chapter. The study of supply is as important as the study of demand. जसा डिमांड महत्वाचा आहे तसा सप्लाय पण महत्वाचा आहे. Supply is a fundamental economic concept that describes the total amount of the specific goods or services that is available to a seller. To a seller. The total amount of goods or services available for sale at any specified price is known as supply. I repeat, friends, the total amount of goods or services available for sale at any specified price is known as supply, friends. Now here then the next topic your textbook is telling concept of total output, stock and supply. So what is total output? Let us see. Then we'll see stock and supply in short. First, let us see the total output. Output, as the name suggests, output is produced in the process of production. Total output can be defined as sum total means aggregate of the quantity of the commodity produced at a given period of time in the economy. Production leads to consumption. Once the goods are produced, it will be used. In the process of production, inputs are converted into final output and final goods. Let us see what is stock. What is the terminology of stock? You are knowing stock means inventory. The accounts also you have seen. But what is the technical definition? Let us see. Stock is the total quantity of goods or commodity available for sale with a seller. We are seeing from a seller's point of view, not from the consumer's point of view or not from the end user point of view. We are studying supply analysis. So think from the point of view of seller. Assume that you are a seller. Hence, the stock is the total quantity of commodity available for sale with a seller at a particular point of time. It is the source of supply. It is potential supply. By increasing production, stock will be increased. Without stock supply, it is not possible. Normally, stock exceeds supply and it is fixed and inelastic. In case of perishable goods like milk, fish, etc., stock may be equal to supply. Stock can be equal to supply in the form of, in the case of perishable goods, friends. There is some again one problem in this hanging of the machine. Okay. Yes, Kanish bhai. Yes, Kanish bhai. I will exit and rejoin. Okay, thank you. Kanish bhai, now you are able to hear it properly. Kanish bhai, now is the voice proper?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
हाँ
One
सर
second,
अभी
one
से
second.
प्रॉपर है.
Yeah. I
Yes, sir.
guess that there is some hanging with the PC. Thank you, Kanish bhai.
Yes. Okay, sir.
How many minutes, Kanish bhai?
Sir, from total output.
Okay, okay. Total output we'll see. Okay, fine. Thank you, Kanish bhai.
Yes, sir.
Total output, Kanish bhai. Thank you. We'll continue. So, concept of, we are seeing concept of total output, stock, and supply. We are going to see, friends. So we are discussing about total output. Total output, as you are knowing, production will be there, the goods will be produced, and it will be given out for the seller. You have to think from the point of view of seller, friends. So total output क्या है? Once again we will see. Output is produced in the process of production. अगर goods produce होगा तो that will be processed. Hence, friends, total output can be told as the total of the quantities which are produced and which are sold at a given point of time. Production will lead to the usage of that particular goods and commodities. And as there the process of production requires inputs, these inputs will be processed, will be manufactured, and it will be finally converted into finished goods, which are also called as final goods or output goods. So this is the concept of output. Then For producing these goods, प्रोडक्शन करने के लिए अपने को इन्वेंटरी करना पड़ता है. वी हैव टू परचेज द रॉ मटेरियल्स फ्रॉम द point of view of manufacturer and seller. Manufacturer will just sell the goods. Why manufacturer is producing the goods? Why manufacturing goods? To sell it. So as I told you, think from the point of view of seller. So this seller is there. Will either if the seller is the manufacturer, even then raw material is required, or if the seller is purely a trader, even then the stock will be required. So inventory is required to sell. Whenever order comes, they have to supply the goods. So hence the stock is the total commodity which is available with a seller at a particular point of time. Friends, it is the source of supply. It is the potential supply. By increasing production, stock can also be increased. More goods are produced, more the stock will be there. Without stock, supply is not possible. Normally, stock exceeds supply and it is given in inelastic. In case of perishable goods like milk, fish, etc., goods may be equal to supply. On the other hand, for durable goods such as furniture, garments, stock can exceed the supply. So let us see further. That was we were seeing supply. Supply is a relative term. It is always expressed in relation to price, time, and quantity. What is the meaning of it? Of supply? It implies supply implies the various quantities of a commodity offered for sale by producer during a given period of time at a given price. It is related to time and price. Supply is a flow concept. It refers to amount of commodity that the firm produces and offers for sale in the market over a period of time. So that is the supply. Definition of supply is given by well-known famous Professor Paul Samuelson, sir. So in the words of Professor Samuelson, sir, let us see. I will flash it on your screen. Now the name will flash. According to famous professor and expert philosopher and economist, Samuelson, sir, tells that supply refers to relationship between market price and amount of goods that a producers are willing to supply. I repeat, supply refers to relationship between market prices and the amount of goods that a producers are willing to supply. This is what our Samuel sir is telling. Hence, supply refers to the quantity of commodity that a seller is willing and is able to offer for sale during a certain period of time. उदाहरण तौर पे farmer total output of rice is maybe say 5,000 kg. So this is the total stock. It is there, and if the price is say 40 rupees, so 5 fours are per kg. That person may offer out of 5,000 kg for 1,000 kg for sale. This is the actual price. तो फॉर दैट टू अंडरस्टैंड, अगर आपको ये आपको व्यवस्थित समझा नहीं है तो लेट अस सी द सप्लाई शेड्यूल. तो ये सप्लाई शेड्यूल, शेड्यूल मींस टेबल, हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल विल टेक. तो ये क्या है, लेट अस सी. तो नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज सप्लाय शेड्यूल. तो सप्लाय शेड्यूल काय आहे ते समजणं करीताच आहे. आपल्याला जर व्यवस्थित समजणं नसेल तर लेट अस टेक अ हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल. लेट अस अंडरस्टँड फ्रेंड्स. A supply schedule is a tabular representation of functional relationship between price and quantity. What is functional relationship? There is some relationship between price and quantity supplied for a particular commodity. Now, supply schedules are of two types: individual supply schedule and market supply schedule. So, let us first see about the individual supply schedule. Schedule you pronounce, schedule you pronounce, whatever. You can pronounce schedule also or schedule also as per your choice. I am pronouncing schedule. Individual supply schedule refers to a tabular representation showing various quantities of a commodity that a producer is willing to sell at a various prices during a given period of time. Friends. So your hypothetical schedule is made. I will come little bit close to read. Price is there. As you are aware, price will come on which axis? Y axis. And supply here, yeah, we have, I have told you already, friends. Okay, demand, quantity demanded will be now quantity supplied on the x-axis. Please take care. Orange will be orange tabular. You can see that will be on price. Will be price always on y-axis. Let it be demand analysis or let it be supply analysis. And you take commodity demanded in demand analysis on x-axis, and here in supply, commodity supplied on y-axis. So 10 to 10, 20, 30, 40, and here we are doing supply 100, 200, 300 for year. यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है, price is rising तो inverse relation is not there. Here supply is also has to rise. Why? Because their demand will increase. So supply बढ़ना चाहिए आपका. Price घटा तो demand बढ़ेगा. Okay. So here also it has to be the converse thing. So supply is there in kgs. So friends, as you can see the table, let us have the commentary of the table, that is the narration of the table. Table क्या बोलता है? The table, friends, on your screen is individual demand schedule. This explains the function relationship between price and quantity supplied of a commodity. Lower the price, lower the quantity of the commodity supplied, and vice versa. At lowest price rupees 10, the supply is also low. तो ये सब आपको क्या बोल रहे, धीरे से कहाँ लेके जाएंगे? लॉ ऑफ डिमांड के जैसा लॉ ऑफ सप्लाई के, और slowly they are doing taking you to the law of supply. So for that hypothetical example, say we are understanding. At the highest price of 50, quantity supplied is highest of 500 kg. That we have seen that on the screen, friends. So now this hypothetical schedule आपके सामने. Now let us convert and plot it on the graph. So y-axis पे we will take price as I have told you. ध्यान से देखना, 10 to 50 is there, and there 100 to 500 is there. It is there. So that we are going to represent. So I will flash next. Individual supply curve, individual supply schedule. So like that, individual supply curve will be there. Now we are representing it graphically. Price on the y-axis, quantity supplied. See here, that is the change. Quantity supplied. See once again, reverse order I have done. Now again I will flash it. Quantity supplied. Price will be there little bit higher I have taken because I have to label maybe. That is why. Now we will make the markings. Numbers we are doing, so the scale will come. What we have done gap. Once again I will go reverse flashing. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So on x-axis the gap is of 100. So you have written there. You can see on y-axis gap 1 centimeter is 1 centimeter you can take, or you can take 2 centimeter also, whatever you are taking there you write. 2 centimeter you take gap, so it will be very good. So it will look little bit larger one. 2 centimeter is equal to rupees 10 also you can take, no problem. Here just I have written 1 centimeter is equal to rupees 10 I have taken. So 1 centimeter is 10. You can take practically 2 centimeter also if it is going to fit. Total you will be your 10 centimeter. They definitely will fit in your book. So you take 2 centimeters if you want. Is rupees 10, and on y-axis 1 centimeter is 100 kg. You will have to take 2 centimeters equal to 100 kg. Then we will we will plot that points. 10, 100. What was there in schedule? 10, 100, 20, 200, 30, 300, 40, 400, 50, 500. See, we have plotted the points. Now naturally we are going to join it. We have joined it there, friends. Label it as SS, supply, individual supply curve, and it is going upwards. Arrow should be there. Yes, you will have to give it by arrow, indicate by arrow to give its proper meaning. Textbook has not written the scale, but it is advisable if you write in the scale, it is going to be good. Move further. ये कमेंट क्या बोल रहा है, ये ग्राफ क्या बोल रहा है, what you can see, friends, graph on your screen is what? Graphical representation of individual supply schedule, which is called as individual supply curve. These indicates that quantity supplied shows on x-axis and the price is shown on the y-axis. Supply curve SS slopes upward from left to right. It shows direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. That's it, simple. Now moving further, market supply schedule, we'll see. तो ये क्या है? Market supply schedule refers to a tabular representation showing different quantities of a commodity which all producers are prepared to sell at a different prices at a given period of time frames. So once again, one hypothetical schedule I have prepared from your the textbook of Maharashtra State Board of Economics of Standard 12th. Let me come close by to read the numbers very clearly. It's maybe not visible because already the distance is very far away. You can see the high end is there, the double it is there. Maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 feet, 3 to 4 feet, 4 feet distance is there. Okay, 3 feet to rate. Price 3 feet is there. So little bit if I come close by, the numbers are readable very nice. Okay, क्या बोल रहे हैं? Price of commodity. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 is there. Then quantity supplied, seller A, B, C is written 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. See, now 100 से चालू किया. How to remember this schedule? Of course, it is hypothetical schedule. So generally you can take any example, but it, given the table is given in the textbook, so it is better you take the same table, na? So, but the values you will better have to remember. You will have to remember. यहाँ से 100 से start हुआ, बाजू में 200 seller B से चालू करो, यहाँ से 300 से चालू करो, and then you do the sum total 100 200 300 because market supply is there, so all sellers you will have to add. Market है ना, सबका addition करो. 100 200 300 makes 600, 200 300 400 that is 900, 300 400 500 makes 1200, 400 500 600 makes 1500, 500 600 700 makes 1800. So this is there. So market supply schedule क्या बोल रहा है? That market supply is obtained by adding seller A, seller B, and seller C at different price levels. Are there whatever is there 10 to 50? It is ranging from 10 to 50. Highest is 50, lowest is 10. And market supply is highest at 1800 kg. You can see that from 600 to 1800 is there. Commentary लिखना है. At a lowest price of rupees 10, the market supply is the lowest at 600 kgs. So now these we are directly going to convert into graph. So X, first we will draw the axis and heading of the graph. Market supply schedule is there. So now will come market supply curve. I flash it on your screen like this. First we will label X axis, that is quantity supplied in kgs. Y axis we will label price in rupees, that will do. Origin also will label. Then we will see the markings on the y axis and marking on the x axis. We'll label what is the meaning of this marking: 10 20 30 40 50 over here in y axis, here 300 600 900 1200 1500 1800. And what, how we did it? I have taken 1 centimeter is equal to 10 on the y axis. You can take 2 centimeter also to make it more larger the better. So scale box I have written, and here you have to just remember individual supply curve was touching the origin. Means it was not touching, but if extended forward would have gone to the origin. Here it is not going. Please take care about that, because what is there? 10 to 600 was there. 10 rupees 600 was there the total. I will take you to the reverse and show you the, you see 10 600 was there. 10 600 20 900 like that. So plot here 10 600 20 900 30 1200 40 corresponds to 1500 50 to 1800. So here you see it will not join. I think so it will touch to 300, correct? And then you please indicate SS supply curve, label it, and now once again it is sloping upwards, going upwards. You label that at, I will flash it once again, that arrow indication of the arrow, student, is very important. This is, take care students. So Your graph on your screen, friends, is nothing but a graphical representation of market supply schedule into market supply curve. As you can see, the heading is also written. Quantity supplied is shown on the x-axis, while price is shown on the y-axis. Supply curve SS slopes upwards from left to right. This indicates a direct relationship between price and the market supply. So, what for going to the further topic? What are the determinants of supply? सप्लाई होता है वो कौन से फैक्टर्स के ऊपर अवलंबन है सो दैट सी फर्स्ट इज द प्राइस ऑफ द कमोडिटी आई हैव फ्लैश्ड इट ऑल टुगेदर ओके maybe it is there so one by one we'll see price of commodity friends first factor second is the state of the technology cost of production is the third infrastructural facility is the fourth one fifth one is government policy as you can see on the screen sixth one is natural conditions seventh one is future expectation about price and there are some other factors also so for let us see price of the commodity each को थोड़ा लाइट में हम देखेंगे zoom करके देखेंगे price is a very important factor which influences the supply of any goods or commodity more quantities are supplied at a higher prices and similarly less commodities are supplied at a lower price thus there is a direct relationship between price and quantity supplied this every graph pe also last comment you have to write as you can see on the screen the second point is state of technology improvement has reduced the cost of production and has led to the increase in the production of the goods and commodities as well as increase in the product supply of the goods and commodities friends third point as you can see on the screen is cost of production if the factor price increases that is what are the four factors we have seen land labor capital and entrepreneur the cost of production also increases and due to this supply decreases fourth point is infrastructural facilities infrastructure is in the form of electricity in the form of various communication in the form of infrastructure very important is roads and railways etc influence the production process as well as supply process also if there is a shortage of these facilities decrease the supply yes Raj okay do it Kanish bhai Kanish bhai Kanish bhai are you there Kanish bhai Kanish bhai are you there Kanish bhai Kanish bhai are you there Kanish bhai are you there Kanish bhai